Welcome to www.happynumbers.org. Today's lesson is dealing with polynomials, and we will be working on adding two binomials. Last lesson we worked on adding a monomial and a binomial. Today's lesson we're going to be adding two binomials. Our procedures are basically just the same. We can add the coefficients of each algebraic term in the binomial, and remember the binomial has two algebraic terms. We add the coefficients of each of the like terms. The terms have to be like. That means that their variable parts must be the same. And then we attach the same variable part. Let's take a look at an example. We have the binomial 4 times y plus 5. And we have the binomial 2 times y minus 8. Well, these are like terms because their variable parts are similar, and these are like terms also because their variable parts are similar because there is no variable part. So we can add these. So we add the coefficients. 4 plus 2 is 6, and we use the variable part 6y. And here we can combine negative 8 and a positive 5, which would give me a negative 3. Very, very simple skill set. So let's try a couple here. 3y plus 2 and y plus 4. And we're adding these. Pardon me. And both of these are binomials. And this is a binomial. Okay. Our variable parts are the same here, and our variable parts are the same here because there are none. So we have like terms, so we can combine them. So we add the coefficients. Remember, this is 1y here. It's not written, but it's 1y. So 3 and 1 is 4. And the variable part is y, so we have 4y. And we combine the two coefficients here. 2 and 4 is 6. So if we add the binomial 3y plus 2 to the binomial 1y plus 4, and remember our 1y was written like that, 1y plus 4, we get 4y plus 6. Well, this is a very simple skill set. Let's put this up for you. We'll put some examples for you. Let's have z plus 1 plus z plus 9. That'll be your first problem. Next problem, 2w minus 6 and w plus 3. You're adding those. And one more, 7c plus 2 and 3c minus 1, and you're adding those. All right, we'll put your video or DVD on pause, work those problems, and then turn it back on and we'll take a look. All right, here. Have a binomial. 1z plus 1, but keep in mind this is 1z and this is 1z. 1z plus 1 and 1z plus 9. Well, these are like terms because their variable parts are the same, and so are these. So 1z and 1 and 1 is 2, and I use the same variable part z, and 1 and 9 is 10. So 2z plus 10 would be my solution. Here I have the binomial 2w minus 6 and the binomial w plus 3. These are like terms, and these are like terms also. And why are these like terms? That's correct, because there is no variable part. Well, then I can combine the coefficients here. Remember, this is 1w, so 2w and 1w is 3w. And if I combine a negative 6 and a positive 3, I get a negative 3. So that's the solution. If I have the binomial 7c plus 2 and 3c minus 1, and I combine those, if I add them, these are like terms, and so are these. So I can combine the coefficients. 7 and 3 is 10, see? 2 and a negative 1 gives me a positive 1. And that is the solution. Good. Now let's take a look at this kind of a problem. Well, we'll take a look at one more of these and then go to a little different kind of a problem. Let's take a look at this. 5x plus 3 and 2x plus 8. And we're going to add that. And again, this is two binomials. These are like terms because their variable parts are the same, and so are these. So we just combine them. 5 and 2 is 7. 7x, we use the same variable part. 3 and 8 is 11. Excellent. Well, suppose we had a problem like this. 6y squared minus 5y and 3y squared plus 2y, and we're going to combine them. Well, we've been working with binomials that have had a variable in only one of the algebraic terms. There's the variable in this term and the variable in this term, but no variables in these terms. Well, here we have variables in both terms, but the process is exactly the same. We add the coefficients of all like terms and we attach the same variable part. Well, these two are like terms because they're y squared, so we can combine the 6 and 3 is 9, and we use the variable part y squared. And these two are like terms, so we can combine these two coefficients. Negative 5 and positive 2 gives us a negative 3, and we use the same variable part. So the only difference between this problem and this problem is there are variables in both terms of the binomial here. There's only variables in one term of the binomial here. So let's take a look at some problems like that that will give you to do. The process is exactly the same. Let's take a look at a problem like 2a squared plus 4a and a squared plus 2a, and we're adding these. So that'll be problem number 1. And then let's take 6u to the second power plus 4v, and then a negative 4u to the second power. Remember, we're adding these. Negative plus 2v, that'll be your second problem. And your final problem will be 4r squared minus 6 times r plus r to the second power plus 6 times r. Okay, so there are 3 problems for you to work. Put your DVD on pause, work them, and then turn it back on and we'll take a look at it. Okay, we have the binomial 2a squared plus 4a. And we have variables in both expressions, which is fine, and we have the binomial a squared plus 2a. And again, we have variable in both expressions, which both terms, which is fine. Well, these are like terms, so we can add 2, and remember this is 1, would give us 3a squared. And we have like terms here, so 4 and 2 plus 6, and we use the same variable term, a. Good. By the way, this was supposed to be a u. I hope that didn't confuse you. Okay, so we have the binomial 6u squared plus 4v, and the binomial negative 4a squared plus 2 times v. These are like terms, so we can combine the coefficients. 6 and negative 4 would give me 2, and we use the same variable part, u squared, plus the variable parts are the same, so these are like terms, so we can combine 4 and 2, gives us 6v. And here we have the binomial 4 times r squared minus 6r and 1r squared plus 6r. These are like terms and these are like terms, so we can combine the coefficients. 4 plus 1, don't forget the 1, 5r squared, positive 6 and negative 6 and positive 6 is 0. So it would be 0, and we wouldn't put the r. So the answer here is just 5r squared. Well, good. So that's adding binomials, and we did 2 types of examples in adding the binomials. We added binomials when we just had one variable. This binomial only has one term that has a variable. This has no variable, and this has a variable. These are like terms, so we can combine the coefficients. 7 and negative 3 is 4, and we use the same variable part. These are similar terms because there is no variable part, and so we can combine the negative 8 and positive 6 gives us a negative 2, and that's that solution set. And then we did binomials that had variables in both algebraic terms. And again, they're like terms because the variable parts are the same, so we combine the exponents. Remember, this is negative 1a squared, so 3 plus a negative 1 gives me 2a squared. And these are the same, so I add 2 and 3 is 5, and I use the same variable part. Well, great. Good. Thank you very much, and we will continue with in our next lesson with subtraction of polynomials. Thank you.